Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody pull up to the stream.
Hey, yo, Mello, you made this?
Yes, sir. If you just joining in, come on, join the chat. Come through, come through. Now let me get a chance for everybody to get here. In that case, let me play the full beat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you in the building. I'm just finna play this through, and then we gonna get the stream started. Let everybody come through. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know the vibes. You already know the vibes. Damn, is it glitching for y'all too? Yes, sir. I see you, Kuya, in the building. Yo, fire beats. The beats are next week. The beats are next week. We finna get into it though. Today I'm just finna be talking about my pack. I'm just finna be talking about my pack. Yeah, alright, we gonna get it started. We gonna get it started. Okay. What's good with y'all? What is good with y'all? I go by the name of Young Mello. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, engineer, and today we're gonna be unboxing my Reggaeton rhythms pack. Man, yep, I'm gonna be unboxing the pack. I'm gonna go into a beat that I made, actually, with the pack. That beat that I just played was with the pack. You know, it just goes to show you. I'm gonna be talking about how versatile this pack is throughout the stream. So yeah. Shall we get into it? My pack is called Reggaeton Rhythms. I just want to take a moment to thank RWL Studios and Remix Your Life for giving me the opportunity to share this with y'all and go live with y'all. So yeah, it's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be cool. And yeah, let's kick back. Yes, sir. Alright. So first, we're going to get into the pack. This is the pack right here. It's called Reggaeton Rhythms on adp.fm. If you haven't downloaded it already, go ahead and go download it. A little bit about the pack. It's it's pretty self-explanatory. It's like Reggaeton Rhythms. But I wanted to make sure that this pack was really something like modular, and something different that you could use for not just reggaeton. You could use it for house, trap, whatever. Like for that example, the beat that I just played, I made that using this pack, and I'm going into that. So, yeah. I guess let's get into it with the first loop. It's called Vedano. This loop is really inspired by different type of rhythms that they use in flutes and reggaeton, and I feel like it could be used also in like a West Coast sense. So yeah, ignore that, my dog going crazy. But yes sir, Young Mello. So let's get into it. I'm gonna play this first loop for y'all. So you feel me? I want to give you different parts of a beat so that no matter what you're trying to make, you could use my pack for something. Whether it's drums, rhythm, something in the background, bass, whatever. You know? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right on, Jacob, for the compliments. But yeah, so that one's really inspired by like the West Coast type thing, West Coast like dance music. But you know, you could throw in some of these other rhythms in it, and you could bring out the little Latin sound in it, or you can take it somewhere else. You feel me? But yeah, I wanted to give you all aspects of the beats in this, so no matter what, you could take something from my pack, anything, you know, as long as you use it. You feel me? And yeah, 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 yeah. So that one's the first one. It's called Vedano. You know, it's flutes, a little bit of like harps in there with some bells. Actually, one thing I actually do a lot in my production is I'll layer sounds. I love layering sounds. So when you hear it, like when you hear this, what would you recommend to use with that beat? I don't really know. Just I would recommend just whatever your ear says. You know, you could definitely go West Coast, you know, ways or other ways, but you know, you throw on like one of these drum loops right here, like this one right here, right? And then let me, I'll show you right now. You know, and you could just put it together. This is it's at 95 BPM. You know, and I like the fact that you can pick and choose different things with my beat and do different, you know, do whatever you want with it, you know. I love the creativity and I can't wait to hear what everybody comes up with. But yes, I did layer like some different type of bells, kalimbas, whatever on it, like right here. Thank you, I appreciate it. You know, cause I feel like when you layer these sounds, it'll give you like a different, you know, it'll make it hit a little bit harder. You feel me? It give you different type of layers and you know just all of it in synchronous. You know, I feel like really adds a level of depth to the sound and complexity in the production. That's something I do a lot of. Yes, for sure. Definitely cuts through the mix. You know. So that's the first one. Vedano, 95 BPM, G sharp minor. You know, that's definitely one right there. Let me get into this second one right here, called Playa. It's B major, 93 BPM. This is more of like that Bad Bunny type, you know, that softer type. You know, like under the stars type feeling. You know, you at the beach. Like this is what you hear. Like listen. And you know, it's a vibe. You feel me? It's a vibe. And you know, I really enjoy like that type of music, especially in the reggaeton. I like that softer type of, you know, clubbish, you know, but still like, you know, makes you feel good, makes you smile, you know. And that's something that I like to put in a lot of my beats. I like to make sure like that you feel emotion, you know, cause I don't like saying like, oh yeah, I don't make music, I make feelings. I don't want to make music that you hear. I want to make music that you feel. And you know that comes from a lot of my production side. It's like what part of this beat or like what parts of these tracks, what will it make you feel? You know, and that's kind of the aim. You feel me? And with that one, the way I made that is I played like a couple chords. Um, do I use more reverb or delay? I feel like I use more reverb than anything. Delay, I let it kind of, yeah, right on, Kuya. Yes, I love movement. Movement is an amazing thing for me. Like I always focus on movement, how it gets you to react. But back to what I was saying about the reverb. Reverb, I like it because it'll add space to the mix. It'll add depth to the mix. I don't. Sometimes I'll catch myself going overboard, but other than that, like I like to make sure I usually fix it during mixing. You know. But delay, I let that like accent it, and when I put it on instruments, it'll either be like for a certain purpose. Whether I'm trying to add something to the overall movement or to the overall groove of the song. But yeah, definitely reverb. I use more reverb than delay. But yeah, so with that one, it's all inspired by movement. It's all inspired by movement. And that's a lot of what this genre is, this reggaeton genre is. This music that you dance to, you know music that makes you and yeah, like look, I'll pair it with a pair of drums right now, like this. And when you do it like that, it'll give it that more, it sits well. It sits well with it. And that's what I like. Yes, sir. You feel me? Um, but yeah, actually, how I made that, I put chord. I did it in chords, and then I ran it through an arpeggiator. And then the arpeggiator is what gave it that bounce, that movement, and different things of when I played the chords. So yeah, B major is easily like one of my favorite keys though. I love using B major, E major too, and D major. Those are my favorite keys to produce in. Alright, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. The third one in my pack is very different. It's inspired a lot by guitar movements, and not just like standard like guitar, like smooth guitar. I want it to be like more abrupt, a little bit more aggressive, and a little bit sound acoustic, even though I played it on the keyboard. So look, I'm gonna play it for y'all. Something jarring, something that makes you like, you feel it, and that's the type of stuff that I like. And you see, that goes back to what I was talking about with the layering. Yes, Ableton. Ableton is my baby. I love Ableton. I've produced in Reason. I've tried like GarageBand and other stuff too. But I like Ableton because it's very like sleek to me. It's very clean to me. And I don't like hella stuff on my screen. It messes me up sometimes. But yeah, so that's atrevida, which means daring in Spanish. And that's something that I really wanted to like. Yeah, the resampling is amazing on this. I love Ableton. Like it has so much stuff that it could offer for real. And yeah, but it's like all dogs do the same thing basically. You just really gotta figure out what they're called, if they're called something different, just find them. They're just put in different places, but it's all the same basics, it's all the same stuff. But yeah, I wanted it to be very progressive, very like gritty, made you like, gave it a lot of punch, and I wanted that because again, like I work a lot with these rhythms right here. Actually, 96. I can warp it to get it to quantize, and yeah, with these rhythms, it really like sits well. It got a little off, but you get what I was trying to say. Like, it's yeah, I love it. I love the features that this has, and I love the fact that you can use different parts of this sound pack for different parts of this sound pack. And give you all elements of a beat if you want it, and also give you the space to create your own elements. Going on to the fourth loop on this beat pack. It's called Cuerpo. It's in D major, 90 BPM. Let me make sure it's cool. And yeah, let me play it. Yes, sir. And yeah, that's something that is also inspired by the reggaeton a lot, like flutes. They use a lot of flutes. They use a lot of those types of rhythms. And yeah, I wanted it to be like, kind of deep, kind of like, sensual in a way. Like, so you feel it, something in the background. That's that club reggaeton. And I really love that. And that's what I sampled for the beat that I played in the beginning of the stream. This right here, that's this. You feel me? And all I did was cut it up. I cut it up, pitched it down a little bit, sped it up for Shirley. And yeah, that's that. Yeah. So it's like this pack, I feel like I'm very proud of the ways that you can manipulate the different parts of it. So all that was in the beginning was just this. Alright, I got you with the drop. Right on. I did 2 bass lines in this beat, if you could hear it. Yes, sir. And yeah, so that's Cuerpo right there. Very deep, easily manipulated, a lot of creativity. And that's what I love to see. And then this is the 5th one. It's called Grito. It's in A minor, 93 BPM. I made it using Arcade. I'm gonna put y'all onto Arcade. If y'all don't know about it, now y'all know. Arcade is a $10 a month. It's a subscription, but it's a whole lot of loops, vocal chops, whatever. You can put your own loops in there and chop it up. They got drum samples in there. They got everything, guitars, a lot of that. I use that a lot for my production as like, little accents and stuff. That's where I get all my vocal chops. And that's what like this loop that I'm about to play for you is. I made it using Arcade, and I like, modulated it a little bit. And go like this. Up top you can tell like this is like that J Balvin, Bad Bunny, like this that like hard, like this that stuff right here. something that you can replay over and over, like repeat it throughout the beat. Hard bass, really strong drums, a lot of movement. I can't emphasize this enough. I love movement. I love something that's gonna make you move, something that's gonna make you move side to side, something that's gonna let you feel what's touching your ears. And that's something that I really aim for, especially when creating this type of music. You know. But yeah, that's Grito right there. It's the Voxes from Arcade. Get with it. I love Arcade. Sponsor me. That's it right here. And this another one where the drums easily fit with it. There's that. And so yeah, that's definitely one that I really enjoy. Right here, this is Fuertes. It's in B major, 106 BPM. This is the 6th loop that I got in this sample pack. Reggaeton Rhythms on ADP.FM. I'm gonna play that again. And yeah, so it's actually a bass line. It's one of those harder bass lines that you hear in like Latin trap a lot, and you can take it in many different ways. You can put in like some drill type stuff. You can put in some trap. You can put in some reggaeton, like I said. It's it's all that type of stuff, all the good stuff. Also has like it resembles like rock music. It has resemblance to rock music. That's what I was trying to say. You feel me? And that's that Fuertes right there. That's that bass line. It's hard. You put some hard drums on this, trap drums, whatever. You can see like whatever. The possibilities are endless. So yeah, you could definitely chop it up. You can do whatever with it. You could do it all. You can do it all. You can do it all. Moving on to the drum loops. We'll move on to the drum samples. I use these drum samples a lot. I use these drum loops a lot for my production, especially because I'm getting into this world. I'm getting into this realm, this type of music. And these are like really like fundamental type basics, J Balvin type stuff. This first one is called Mira. It's named after like a song that I made using this drum pattern. It's called Mira. And yeah, I might play it for you later. I don't know. But this is Mira right here. And it's simple, something that you could chop up, very much like the anchor of a lot of this music is that type of rhythm. And it's definitely a great starting point. And thank you, Honest. I definitely wanted to do a lot of different things. Give you a full beat. Like I was inspired off of what like Money did with her pack, where she gave you like the drums and the bass lines, a couple melodies, all that. I wanted to go like kind of the same route. You feel me? Right on. Yeah, I wanted to go kind of the same route, give you all the elements for you to make a beat, and let you do what you want with what pieces you want. And yeah, like, but something that anchors down this genre is definitely the drums. The drums are always crazy, constantly moving. And that's something that I really like exploring. The complexity and still like the space, the simplicity of a lot of this music. And yeah, moving on to the next drum pack is Ritmo. It's another drum loop, 95 BPM. Here we go. Another version, something that will get you to move. You feel it. That's something that I love to do. I love creating movement. I love creating feeling. And the right drums that'll elevate the song. That's the anchor, that low end, pan the drums, whatever. But that's like a good anchor, and then you can build everything around it. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's all eight loops from the pack. Reggaeton rhythms available on adp.fm. And yeah, if y'all want to ask me anything else before I start moving on to the beat, yeah, I don't know. I'll give you an explainer of my beat, take you through my process, different things that I've done. Using, for the beat I'm gonna show y'all, I use the Ritmo drum loop. I'm gonna show you what I did, and especially the way that I program my drums and the different things around it, But yeah, 8 loops, reggaeton rhythms, all fire in my opinion. And definitely something that you could use if you choose to use it. I wanted to give you all types of elements, all types of different things. Let your creativity take control. Don't try to restrict you in any way when using my pack, because it's your beat, it's your freedom. I wanted to give you a tool to enhance your freedom, inspiration, all that type of stuff, all the good stuff. And yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my beat right here. Elements I used in this were definitely the ritmo. That was like that's the anchor of the track for real. And then I used in some like vocal chops, some voxes from Arcade, and I programmed my drums, I played the bass line, all that types of stuff. And yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna play it for you. Let me know what y'all think.
Feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move. My feet move. My feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move. My feet move.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, right on, right on, right on. So yeah, that's my beat. Very bass heavy. You know, drums complex, a lot of movement. You know, vocal chops in the background. Give it a sense of like ambiance. Gives it that vibe. You know, sample from arcade. You know, my feet move to the beat. You know, it's just overall just, you know, crazy, 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 crazy. Um, so I'm gonna start off like how I made the beat. Right on, yeah. The vocal chops, I knew it needed something different because of how the bass moves. It needed something very spacey, but still gave it that little push, that vibe, the ambiance, you know. But so first I was starting off with my drums, you know, the this right here, and that last little piece right there, that last little piece is something that, you know, I kind of just like cut it right there, you know, something, you know, something cool, something nice, and give it more of a transition, led into the drop for real, you know, leads better into the drop, and yeah. And then from there, I went on to my bass line. You know, I wanted the bass to move around a lot. I wanted it to, you know, be very modular. You know, something that, you know, you hear it, it makes you want to, you know, it makes you want to dance. You know, you feel it. You feel it in your stomach. You feel it in your chest. You know, all that type of stuff. Yeah. My bad, my bad. You know, and you throwing the drums right there. And, you know, that gives you a really good, you know, solid foundation. You know, already you see how much movement, how it's, you know, very low hand heavy. You know, you could see, you know, something that you feel, you know. And with the drum programming around the loop, I went a little crazy with it. I wanted to do something, you know, give it some real like wild drums, you know, different types of stuff that, you know. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm gonna just go ahead and solo the drums by itself, you know, without the sample. I'm gonna show you all that. That's this right here. You know, got a little box in the background. I got a little shaker panning from ear to ear. I don't know if you can really hear it. You know, you can hear it in the headphones, but it's also different things pan different places. You know, cause, you know, when you listening to the song as a whole, you know, it moves with you. The drums move with you, and that's something that, you know, I really like. And then I tossed in the shakers right here. You know, it gives it that more of another element right here. You know, it's very sub heavy, very bass heavy, but a lot of movement with the drums, giving you that vibe, giving you that type of energy, you know. And yeah, and then after I programmed all the drums, Something I do a lot with my drums is, I work a lot with penning. I work a lot with penning. Like you see the open hat right here, like that's in the left ear. Definitely other stuff. I got cymbals. I got a lot of drums in here. All moving at one time. A lot of drums, different types of rhythms. And it's just that vibe this. Using scratches, reverse open hats, just all the good stuff, trying to make the drums as dynamic as possible. Really trying to make the drums as dynamic as possible, like reverse in the left ear, different type of definitely I love those. It gives it a it punches at you. It's unexpected, but when you hear it in the background, it just like gives you a nice little surprise within the drums, like okay, okay, and it fits in with the vocal chops of the melodies. Definitely like stranger drums too, definitely trying to go crazy, Yes, and glitchy feels, something that intrigue the listener, dynamics, movement, drops, all of that stuff that will like accentuate, bring more levels to the beat, more levels to the production, more levels to the, and it also gives room for the artist, the different types of melodies and other types of rhythms that you do with your drums. It'll like, if you do it in a way that hugs the artist's voice and what the artist is doing, and just create that harmony. You feel me? In different ways you can approach it, just the energy, I love putting energy into my beats, emotion, feelings. And, that's all that music really is, to me at least. It's emotion, it's feelings in auditory form. And I try to portray that. Now while we talking about dynamics and stuff, I got this right here. This right here. Hold on, it didn't even play. I got another reverse hat. Reverse little open hat, because when they're played together, it gives it that transition, along with the way that I cut up the the piece of the loop, like the it signifies change within the beat. And that's something that taking you on that journey, taking you on that whatever, giving you the change, giving you the dynamics, giving you distinguishability between your A's and your B section, your C sections, whatever, all the sections. Just drops, dynamics, movement. Can't stress that enough. And, just use the space, Try to make sure like everything that you do has a purpose. Don't be like, try to produce and just throw whatever in there. Make sure it's like it adds to the overall groove of the song and accomplishes what you want it to do. You feel me? And yeah, and I go crazy with my EQs for real, like this bass. I didn't even get into that. Okay, let me start from the bottom. So these drums right here, I put the kick in mono, bass mono using the utility. I'm sure there's like other plugins within other DAWs that you can create like width and stuff, or you can use like mid side EQs as well. You can put all that other stuff in mono and separate it. you know. So, and then I use this plugin called Neutron Elements. I got it off of Isotope actually, and it's a different type of EQ. It has like exciters in it, but you can do this with whatever. I boosted like the lower frequencies, and made it a little bit more crisp, punched through the mix, all that type of good stuff. Right. Then moving on to my bass line right here. I got the bass from the Complete Control. It's for free from I think Native Instruments. It's free. Cool plugin, a lot of instruments, a lot of interesting stuff. There I stuck it through a drum bus or like put distortion on it, accentuated the lower frequencies. Put the bass in mono and actually widened the bass because I wanted to like hug the overall mix. I mean, EQs are EQs, man. EQs are EQs. It's all about like usability and preference for real. I'm sure there's also like second party. You can get some like free EQs or whatever. Just other stuff. EQs are EQs all around. But yeah, like I was saying, I actually widened the bass line because I wanted it to hold a lot of real estate within the mix. As the main driver of the mix, as the main, that's where the groove is coming from. Put the bass in mono, use the mid-side EQ, and in the mids, I do you layer sub basses under your basses? No, I don't, because the drum bus plugin in Ableton, it kind of gives me like a boom option where I'm able to like put more sub in there, or if I need to, I'll like go back with like some saturators or whatever. It's all that type of stuff. So it's drive, all that type of stuff. It compresses it, and I add that that sub under it. But layering sub basses, I might try that. You just put me on. I might do that. I never thought of that. Yeah, this EQ, I went to the mids. I low passed the mids. I high cut the mids. So it's only the lower frequencies, only the bass frequencies in the middle, to give room for the artist in the middle, so it doesn't take too much of it because of all the layers of it. And then on the sides, I high cut it, took out the sub on the sides and just left like the buzziness and the overall like tone to just wrap the vocal or whatever. Just versus if I like turned all that stuff off, like you hear automatically it's a lot rougher, so I high cut it, I widened it so it hugs the vocal, hugs the mix, and yeah, and everything I do has to have context. And I remember like there were times where I was just like doing the stuff just to do it, and then it was like my production was either like too complex or it was like I didn't really like the way that it was coming out. The more I learn, the more I like listen to people, watch other people produce, I learned that everything in production, everything in these beats, everything in the songs has a reason for being there. And just define your reason, make sure you're doing what you're doing to add to the overall groove and not kill the vibe. And that's also how you stop yourself from overcrowding your beats, making them too complex to where like an artist or whatever can't really use them, because I used to be like that too. Just dropping other stuff. I'm not saying it's your, I'm just saying, if the shoe fits, that type of stuff. Effects that I did on my drums, I put like different types of EQs on each of my drums or whatever. I might, pan them differently. I might like widen them like this right here. This auto pan. I'm sure like Reason has something like this too, and it pretty much takes the shaker from ear to ear. So I can solo it right here, and I can be like this, like, it's going from ear to ear. Cause the dance, it moves with you. It moves with you, and that's something that I always promote: movement, dynamics. Can't say it enough. Put reverb on the click right here. Hold on, it's still soloed. My bad. But yeah, that. Give it a little bit more space. Everything else is kind of like self-explanatory. Reversed it, faded it in for the transitions. This right here, Neutron Elements. Again, it's an EQ, but it also doubles as like an exciter. You can do that with any type of saturator. It gives it a little bit more pop. Like I'll take it off and I'll try to play it right here. It's still good. I add it and it adds a little bit of pop. Subtlety. And yeah, it was it was in a pack for $50 from Isotope. It came with ozone elements, trash, nectar elements, all that type of, some good stuff up in there. I got it a cool minute ago. Actually, with these shakers, I was meaning to pan them. I never got around to it though. But this is how it like comes, and you can change the amount, at what frequency they pan, all that good stuff. Now moving on to this main little thing that I put in the hook. This vocal right here. This. Hold on.
Feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move. My feet move. My feet move to the beat.
Definitely bringing in those house elements, those club, that type of clubbish reggaeton elements, all that good stuff, Again, mid-side EQ. I mid-side EQ a lot. I always do it because, creating space within the mix, and all that good stuff, letting it sit well with the other instruments and complement the other instruments in unison, so it's not too crowded. I ran it through RC20. First I froze it as it was, and then I ran it through RC20, under the flux chorus preset. If you RC20 is another thing. It's really good saturator, tape modifier, whatever. Has a lot of good presets in there, and you get to use them like however you choose. I ran it through utility, which is another like stereo width thing. Made it wider, spread it out so it hugs the sides of the mix, so it hugs the sides of the vocals. And mid-side EQ, again, like, you can't stress it enough. I actually lowered the middle by 2 decibels. I lowered the middle, so when you have the vocal in the middle, you let the thing surround it. Let the instruments go under it and around it, so it doesn't really interfere, and it lets the vocal pop within the mix, as well as giving room for the other underlying, chorus. My feet move to the beat thing. Yep. And again, low cutting. I do it a lot. Give room for the bass, give room for other instruments. All that type of good stuff. On the sides, I accentuated it, made it pop a little bit more on the side, so you feel it talking to you. Then moving up the chain, this the intro. It was just through again, Neutron, just an EQ, really. EQ, exciter, compressor has different things, but you can do it all in separate things. All I did was make it, that elevator voice right here, that.
Feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat.
You know.
My feet move to the beat.
And at the end,
My feet move.
in the what you call it thing. I use the tape stop plugin for free. It's called Cassette, you know, in the plugins. It's called Cassette Transport. It's like verifying Pro Tools, you know, all that type of good stuff. You know, it also enhances the transitions, movement, all the time. I love it. And then moving on to like some of the final pieces of this beat are the vocal chops. This straight from arcade, played it differently, you know, let it put that ambiance around the beat, around the song. You know, I layered it with two forms of RC20. I did a flux chorus and I did the depths of flux preset, which pretty much it brings out it first I did the next door and then I did the depth of flux. So the next door studio is pretty much like a high pass, and it like adds a little bit of reverb and it sounds like it's, you know, in a next door studio. You know, like I turn it all the way up and then, you know, and you feel it come back. You know, and the same thing with the other one, depths of flux. All it does is really it adds depth, as it says. And yeah, RC20, another tool that I like. You know, I forget who makes it, but RC20, great saturator, great default set presets, and all that type of good stuff. Yeah, and then going back to these transitions that I had, you know, just regular stuff, just the thing just reversed and let it sync up to the whatever, to the hook. And then yeah, that's how I made this beat. And yeah, that's this right here.
Feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move. My feet move. My feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move to the beat. My feet move. My feet
a lot of space, a lot of movement, areas for the vocal to shine through. You know, all of that good stuff. That's how I use the pack. I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. And you know, it's called Reggaeton Rhythms on ADP.FM. You know, in collaboration with Remix Your Life. Again, I want to thank Remix Your Life for giving me the opportunity to do this for y'all. And I hope y'all enjoy the pack. And I can't wait to hear what y'all got left to say. What y'all got left to send me for next week when I review your flips, give you a little bit of criticism, and you know, blow me away. Right on, Jacob. Right on. You know, I was a little nervous coming into this because you know I didn't know what to expect. You know, and going away, I'm gonna play my song Mira that I use with the Mira drums. You know, I've yet to use the melodies, but I do have songs that I'm making with the melodies that I'm going to release. So, you know, I'm going to play y'all some unreleased mellow real quick on my way out. You know, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming through. And, yeah. Right on. That's Ven, mira, ven conmigo. Un trago de tequila la hace hacer lo que yo digo. Toma ese sorbo, baja tan suave. Pero ya sabes, si quieres disfrutar yo soy la clave. Hay gente que dice que habla, pero a mí no importa, es tu palabra. Yo soy mítico, el chupacabra. Me gusta cuando te bodeas y me das las dagas. Tengo tentación y mucho hambre, no más déjame chuparte la sangre. Estoy atrás y tú estás adelante, y vas a recordar de esta canción como infante. Pasado precede adelante, este es mi llanto. Mira, toma la pausa, suspira. No, don't slow down, baby. I'm at the club where we meet up. Hizo la maroma, casi quiebra su espina. Si de eso so smooth, pure water, aquafina. Voy a dar recuerdos para toda tu vida. Ven, mira, ven conmigo. Un trago de tequila la hace hacer lo que yo digo. Toma ese sorbo, baja tan suave. Pero ya sabes, si quieres disfrutar yo soy la clave. ¿De dónde eres y cómo estás? From DF down to Bogotá, Tegucigalpa up in Honduras. Llámame si quieres que le ponga más. Clase azul inside your cup, huh? You on fire inside this club, huh? Like this match I can't get enough, huh? Of your body with a diamond in the rough. ¿Estás bien, mami? Tequila makes a move, a body real naughty. Somebody better get lo shawty. Come to papi, taki taki, I'm on top y Jangari. Ya sé que es cierto que amo tu cuerpo y vine a gastar dinero. Pues claro que sí. Ven, mira, ven conmigo. Un trago de tequila la hace hacer lo que yo digo. Toma ese sorbo, baja tan suave. Pero ya sabes, si quieres disfrutar yo soy la clave. Right on, Brig. I just want to thank everybody one last time. Thank y'all for coming out, and I'm gonna catch y'all next week when I play y'all beats. Yes, sir. Thank you.